Can you believe that some gyms create enough value that the average member pays $340 to $522 per month? It's true. We take a lot of crap on social media when we post about this stuff. That's impossible. You're full of BS and so on. We see it all the time, but the numbers aren't made up. And I've got a gym owner on Two Brain Radio today to tell you exactly how her business made our May leaderboard. I'm Mike Workington. Please hit subscribe if you haven't already. We're always cranking out shows to help people just like you, and I don't want you to miss a thing. So please hit subscribe. Now, a welcome to my guest. She is Lisa Palmer. She's the owner and CEO of Gas Station Fitness and Nutrition in the United Kingdom, and we're going to dig into the average revenue per member per month, or ARM. That's the sexy acronym for it. Lisa, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing well, and I'm really excited because this is a huge one. Like I said, we get so many people that don't believe these numbers are possible. So you made our leaderboard with our average revenue per member of $341. And of course, it's pounds over where you're at, so it's a different number. But we often report in US dollars just for ease of reporting. $341 is a huge number, and yet people don't believe these things are true. So people are skeptical about high ARM, but they're common among Two Brain clients. So I'm going to ask you this. Were you ever skeptical that ARM over $300 was possible? And how has your opinion changed over time?
Thanks. Yeah, for sure I was. Yeah, we've owned gyms for coming up 8 years now. When we first started, we were kind of, our arm was probably at about sort of $120.
Okay.
We struggled to get past that point.
You're almost triple now.
We're almost triple now, and it hasn't been, looking back as to how we did it, it wasn't necessarily sort of anything rocket science. It was purely just sort of refining the basic processes within our business, and really getting to know our membership base. I think one of the key things that's worked well for us is filling our membership base with people who are serious investors in their health and fitness, and making sure that people are with us for the right reasons. And people who are within our gym, are looking for more and more avenues to improve on their goals and the reason why they came to us in the first place. Beyond that, it was really quite simple for us as owners, myself and my husband. We just had to provide enough choice and enough resources and offerings for our members that they could pretty much treat us like a one-stop shop for anything health and wellness. So just getting to know our members, we've been really lucky to kind of keep putting on more and more offerings or speciality courses, different types of memberships, different offerings like nutrition or massage therapy. And because we've given our members even more choice, they've been able to kind of, I suppose, stick with their basic packages and then choose more and more on top of that, just to really refine what they want to achieve from their membership with us.
So we're going to dig into some of those things and talk about some specifics so other owners can take some advice from you and then take action on it. But just to reiterate, so you started about 8 years ago, your average revenue per member, probably about $120, and you were skeptical that it could make it higher than that. What was the thing when did you start to realize that $300 might be possible? Like, was there any moment, or was there, like, what stuff were you doing that started to make that thing move? And when did you start to realize, hey, the sky's really the limit here?
I think when we started to realize that people put a different value on their health and fitness and their goals, we sort of had in our heads, through the years, what we would be prepared to pay for a said offering. And what we've done is we've increased our offering and increased our value at the gym, and we have higher priced offerings for those people who do want to pay a bit more and receive even more for what they get for their money. So, for example, in the last 6 months, we've spent a lot of time refining something called a transformation package within our gym.
Let's just dig into that. Tell me about that. What is in that and what does it cost?
So our transformation package lasts for 12 weeks. You'll have to excuse me, I can't remember the exact figures, especially in dollars, but I think probably about $2,000 a month for our high-end transformation package.
Yep.
And essentially what they're getting is everything we have to offer. So they get sort of personal training, they get sleep therapy, they get mobility, daily mobility, they get classes, nutrition, biometric scanning, and then they get what we call the X factor, whereby anything else within their lifestyle we home in on and we try and make it better for them. So, for example, a client we've had recently, he was a smoker. So although that's not on our front end sort of spec as to what they get as part of the service, Our coach spent a lot of time with him, sort of trying to wean down on the cigarettes, trying to give him other incentives in terms of how to cope with stress, other sort of coaching methods to try and work around, because he was a chef. So he obviously had a very stressful environment to work in. So we give everything we have at these clients, and they pay a top premium price for it. Now, I'm not saying that every client who comes through our door wants that particular package. But when we weren't offering it at all before, we weren't necessarily giving that option to those maybe small population that do want that sort of hand holding and that one-to-one, that close contact with their coach. So it's not really sort of, a rocket, like I said, it's not rocket science, but by giving people options, maybe 1 in every 20 clients, 1 in every 30 clients, they will choose that higher price offering. And last month, I think we had about 7 clients sign up to our transformation package. They get great value for it. They get amazing results. And because they're so invested right from the front, from the beginning, they're really in that process with us. And we do get some incredible metrics and, like I said, results from them.
So the first thing, if people are listening saying, how the hell do I raise my average revenue per member, is to figure out how can you add more value? And what that's going to be is programs that go beyond just group coaching, right? Group coaching, when I started my gym, that's all we offer. That's all we did. I thought that was a high value service because we were charging about $150 a month, which was too low, but that's what we were charging. And it was more than the $30 gym membership. That is actually not a high value offering. Group coaching in a group of 10, your coach's attention is split 10 different ways. It's an hour. It's a big group. It is not personal attention, even though you do get some personal attention. It's not personal coaching. Simply by offering personal training, I would have added in a high value service. If I had gone further to where you're at, and let's take a few more steps, we leave a few in between there. If I had gone to high ticket coaching, or we'll call it something like that, where it's a high touch service where you're coaching them on all aspects of health and fitness and lifestyle, and that could include stress management, sleep, nutrition, mindfulness, all these different things, even habit stuff like stop smoking. That is a high ticket service. And I'm guessing you have like really high levels of personal contact in this service, right? So then all of a sudden that is not a $150 service. It's not a personal training package of $600. This is like a lifestyle transformation. I love the name you've used, and that's worth $2,000 a month. People out there will say, I would never pay $2,000 a month for that. No one like that exists. And yet you tell me that these people do exist. And I know that they are out there. So let me ask you this, and we'll segue back to some of this stuff before. Tell me, how do you find someone who's ready to pay $2,000 a month for a transformation package? That's going to get into marketing and client avatars and stuff, but how do you do it? Where do you find these special people?
Well, it sounds a bit cliche. We don't find them, they find us.
Okay, so, but you're putting something out there that they see, right? That's good.
And I think really the way we do our marketing and we show results and we show how much care and attention we have.
Social proof.
Social proof, and that's exactly. So our most recent transformation client came from another gym 5 miles away, and he was working out in the gym and he was saying to his friends, I'm just not getting anywhere. And actually one of his friends said, you know where you need to go? You need to go to Gas Station Fitness and Nutrition. Now this guy, he's not even a member with us. I don't even know who he is, this friend. But we've started to develop a reputation in our area of a gym, the go-to gym, if you want to see some serious results and you want to change in your lifestyle and your wellness. And don't get me wrong, that's not been something which has happened overnight. We've worked really, really hard as a coaching team over the last 2-3 years to build up our social media, to get client engagement, to get Google reviews, to do in-body scans before and after, testimonials. And I think that's really starting to pay off now. We're at a stage in our sort of our business career where exactly what I said, people are now finding us rather than us having to go out to them. And you don't know these people. And I think the one thing I would say is, don't assume that this person is not going to sign up for a transformation package or the other way around, because all of our transformation clients, they're all totally different. They've come to see us for very different reasons. So unless you actually show every single one of your client that particular offering, you're never going to be able to know which one is going to go for that particular package. Now we have a pricing binder and the transformation packages start at the very beginning. And
that's the first thing you show them.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the first thing we show them after we've listened to their we've got like a presentation to show our potential clients. So we talk through what kind of offerings we have. We show various clients at different parts of our pathway. So this is a client who's on a class pathway. This is a client who's on a PT pathway, hybrid pathways. And then in terms of the pricing, the first packages we get to is transformation. And we let them just have a little read of it. And then if it's not for them, they'll very quickly will say, what do you think? And they'll say, listen, either they'll say, that's the one for me, or they'll just say, oh, it's a bit much, a bit too much, in which case we just quickly float on and we go through our other offerings. But like I said, until you actually show them what you have in your facility, they're never going to know. So you've got to put it out there. And what we say to these transformation clients is, especially with our VIP package, they're getting 5 coaches. So that's how many coaches we kind of throw into some of these clients in their transformation packages. And we have a WhatsApp group with all those coaches on, and we're talking behind the scenes about how this client is doing. Actually, I think we need to spend more time on this element, more time in classes, or more time on personal training or nutrition. So it's a real bespoke, dynamic kind of movement and collaborative working between all these coaches to get this client through the first 12 weeks to make a really, really big difference to their lives. We know it's powerful, but I appreciate it's not in everyone's budget. And that's why it's so important that although it's at the front of the file, we do quickly move on if it's not particularly something they're looking for. So that's, yeah.
No, so I'm gonna, for lack of a better term, dumb this down for people like me who, as a basic gym owner, I was like, this would sound very intimidating, right? I'm like, wow, it sounds like there's just so much going on here. I don't have a clue how to start this, but I'll tell you, it's not that hard. And here's how you do it. The first step is you have to have a high value offering that you can tell people about. So create a program that will solve problems for your ideal client. You need to figure out what your ideal client is, but then you create a program for that person and create the program that will solve all their problems fastest. That program is not group coaching. That is probably personalized coaching with a bunch of other stuff. Okay. So that's step 1. You got to have a program. Step 2, you've got to put that program in some sort of pricing binder so people can see it. If you just throw it on your website and assume people will ask for it if they find it, they're never going to find it. You need to show it to them. And in that, you need a sales process. Sales processes sound intimidating, but they're really not. The thing that I'll tell you, the one tip I'll give you right here, and there's videos about this in our archives, don't assume that the person sitting in front of you won't buy what you're showing that person. Okay, because that's a huge mistake. I might not buy a $2,000 personal training package because I'm a personal trainer. I can do the stuff myself. Another person won't feel like that. They'll say, oh my God, I can pay $2,000 and get everything done for me. Sign me up now. If you go into that sales meeting with your own budget in mind and project that onto the client, you're going to not sell it, right? You have to show it to the client and let them make the decisions. Check out Jeff Burlingame's sales videos in our archives, and you will find all sorts of ways to do this. Okay. So those are your steps. Those are your first steps. Have something, present something, and then back it up with a sales process that ensures that people see it and can make a decision on it. The 4th thing that you're going to do when you get someone into that program, document the heck out of it. Okay. Because you want that social proof. So the next time someone says they go to that pricing page in your binder, all of a sudden there's a picture of Tim who signed up 4 months ago and had amazing transformative results and is only too happy to tell the world about it. That person says, wow, I want to be like Tim, signs up. 4 easy steps. And again, it's taken Lisa years to get to this point, but you with these steps can accelerate that process and get there sooner. So don't be intimidated by the stuff here, because I would have been, but it is possible, and we'll break it down to those easy steps. So transformations. I love that one. That is a huge deal. Do you package other services like hybrid services? And one of the things that I've often found when I interview gym owners with high ARMs is that they're packaging things. So it's group training and maybe nutrition coaching, or group training and something else, maybe one PT session, or it's a package, all 3 or 4 of those things, or it's a bunch of other stuff. What other packages do you have that increase your ARM besides high ticket stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So I think probably about sort of 40% of our membership base are hybrid members.
Yeah.
So exactly that. So they could do like a 3-class a week package with 1 PT session in the week. So we offer hybrid packages, which either have 3 classes and 5 classes, and then we add on either 4 PT sessions a month, 8 PT sessions a month, or 12. And
what would the price of something like that be? And just ballpark it if it's not, the conversion doesn't go.
Probably around anything up from, I'm just converting it in my head to
Yeah, yeah.
dollars. Oh, probably anything from about sort of $400 and up. That's probably
And
one of
then,
our basic ones.
so that's a key part of your ARM number, which is over 340. If you're selling hybrid packages to 40% of your members at $400, that's a huge deal. Let me ask you this. In these packages, people are doing group classes. When they add in that personal training option and change to a hybrid program, do they get better results?
Oh, just insane. The
Right?
level of results is incredible. Usually when people convert onto a hybrid package, within 2 months, they're hitting PRs that they haven't hit for years of training. And I'd say that is, we don't sell hybrid packages. So when you first join up with us, rarely do people go straight onto a hybrid. They don't understand the value of it. It takes they just want to get stuck into classes and get into some sort of routine, or they just want to do PT only. It's usually the class members who start on class and then they see Julie next to them who started at the same time as them. Suddenly she's nailing kind of, pull-ups and handstand press-ups, and it's all down to the PT sessions that she's been having with James or Frosty, and we don't really push the hybrids in our gym. It's just that the fact that the clients, because we're such a close community, they see exactly that. They see the results that others are getting from the hybrid packages, and they want to obviously, I suppose you could say, accelerate their own growth and development within their fitness journeys. So it's an easy win for us, because the clients are happier because they're getting better results and quicker results. The coaches are obviously doing really well. They're really engaged with the business because they're really getting that one-to-one contact with these clients. So all of our coaches, probably about 80% of their salary is from PT clients. A lot of them are hybrid. And because they have gone to a hybrid package rather than what we used to do and just doing blocks of 10 PT sessions, there's that element of commitment from the client as well. And what do we know commitment and consistency result in? Results. So that's been a really big game changer for us. The clients are really enjoying having that accelerated growth in their fitness.
The reason I ask is because we often see criticism of people saying, oh, I'm going to have to gouge people to force them into personal training and spend more money than they want to. That's not the case. Like, what you're doing here is you are offering a service that solves a problem for a client faster, right? And if the client wants that service, they're going to pay for it. If they don't, it's not forced upon them. And it's not about gouging or finding ways to take their money. It's saying, I have a faster path to get you from point A to point B. And so let's say point B is, I want to lose 15 pounds, or I want to learn double unders for a competition. That path is going to be shorter. You're going to get across the channel faster if you have a personal coach and direct attention. And the example I'll give you very short is, I had a guy at my gym, constantly very good athlete, very strong, very fit, couldn't do double unders. And you've seen these guys for sure. They just can't do double unders. And so they practice a little bit in class, then the workout starts and they're terrible and they get frustrated and mad because they can't compete with anyone else, all because of double unders. Had I offered a hybrid program where this guy could have signed up for 5 or 8 personal training sessions, we probably could have fixed double unders in, 3 or 4 weeks. He would have been so much more happy. He would have stayed at the gym longer, and I would have solved his problem. And he would have looked at the $400 as like a great investment. So these packages are not gouging. They're not trickery. It's helping people get the results that they want. Do you agree, Lisa? Have I summarized that right?
I totally agree. And there are still people in our gym who are just on 3 times a week class membership, and
That's
they've
fine.
been on it for 2 years. And guess what? They're very happy. They're like maybe a desk worker, and it just kind of ticks them over in terms of the general lifestyle and their wellness. And they're happy with that. And because they are reaching their own goals, that's absolutely fine. But if someone keeps coming to us saying, exactly what you said, Mike, I've been trying to get my doubles for the last 6 months and I'm getting really frustrated, then it's so lovely being a gym where we have a wealth of solutions for them, and they get to pick what they want to do. So we meet with our clients every 90 days to sit down with them, and we've got a performer which we fill out, and at the bottom of this performer it says good, better and best, and that's basically our solution for them. So they'll say to us, I want to get some doubles in the next 3 months, and we'll say, okay, so the good option is to maybe go to a gymnastics class more regularly. The better option is to go to the speciality course, which we're going to run in a month's time. And the best option is to spend a little bit more one-to-one time with one of our coaches. So that way you're giving that client choice. And the only way we as a gym have been able to offer that choice to clients is by providing those services. So if we just stick with class only, we are doing our members a disservice, because there's going to be a point in time that they want more and we haven't been able to deliver that. So we have I call it a shop. We have basically a shop in our gym, a virtual shop in the air, where members literally can just pick out what they feel they need at that moment in time to fit their goals. We obviously guide them on their choices, but it's so lovely having that huge I think we offer about 25, 30 different offerings within our gym. And they're all based on the fundamentals of nutrition, PT classes. But for example, if someone's going away on holiday, why don't you offer them online PT or remote accountability or remote virtual nutrition whilst they're away when they need it most, because they've worked really hard for 6 months and then they're going away for a month? We want them to stay consistent. We want them to keep up their results and their progress. So if they're really engaged with your gym and your process and their goals, they will snap your arm off if you give them choices in terms of how to carry things on. They don't want to stop, but they can't see a way past it when they go on holiday. So give them choices and they will snap your arm off. Admittedly, there are some people who do go on holiday, but then have an action plan in place that when they get back, what I would recommend is that you do maybe this and this to either catch up, or we just have a goal review when you get back to make sure that you feel comfortable getting back into classes again. So you just have to coach them and wrap them up in cotton wool and tell them what they need in order to achieve their goals.
I'm going to highlight a quote from you that you said a few minutes ago, because it's really important. Listeners, if Lisa said this, if I only offer group classes, I'm doing my members a disservice. Think about that for a bit, because you are not giving them the fastest route to their goals. Certain people may want group classes and that's what they want. That's totally fine. Checkbox, you've done that. But if they want to move faster and you're not offering hybrid programs, personal training, specialty courses, all the other stuff, you are doing a disservice to them, because you could be helping them to a greater degree. And self-interest, it will make you more money. It will make your coaches more money. Key part that I want to go over here, Lisa, that you mentioned, it's called the prescriptive model. And this is so important to the ARM process. You've mentioned, Lisa, a ton of stuff that you offer. No client could come into your office or look on your whiteboard or whatever it is and just be like, there's like 25 things up there, all these different options. They don't have a clue. They don't even know some of them exist. They're not going to navigate that path themselves. But in the prescriptive model, which is a whole process as laid out by Chris Cooper, who's True Brain founder, you are going to meet with clients at a minimum of every 90 days, 3 months. And you're going to ask them, you're going to measure something, ask them, are you moving in the right direction? And then you're going to revise their prescription. And what that prescription is to give them the best possible plan for them to accomplish their goals. Lisa has that broken down into good, better, best, which allows them to make decisions. But what she's doing now is taking the whole giant McDonald's menu of all the burgers and fries off the wall, sitting down with that person and saying, what do you want to accomplish? Here's what you need to do to get there. Prescribing that. And most of the time people are going to say, yes, I want that. And they'll pick one of the 3 options or whatever it is. Then you're going to do that process, repeat it again in 90 days. And as you keep doing this, this solves a huge problem for you. And that problem is your members don't know what you've created and what you offer. If someone comes into your gym, they only do group classes, they only do personal training, they might not even know what you do. When I started offering hybrid stuff, and this was toward the end of when I had my physical space, I asked a member, said, hey, or my wife did, do you want some extra help on your muscle ups in a personal training session? And he was a group class member. And he said, you guys do that? And I slapped myself in the head, because I had no system in place to get this information to my members. The prescriptive model is that plan. Lisa, what happened when you put the prescriptive modeling in place? Did you notice your ARM move automatically?
I think it was more to do with what you just said, Mike, is more of an awareness. So we
Sure.
make a real conscious effort that when we meet with our clients, it is not a sales process.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be, because if it's portrayed as that or it's conducted like that, the members are not going to engage with you. You know, it's really important that the members see that we have only their goals at the fundamental heart of our business. And so when we're meeting with them for these client reviews, sometimes, that we always try and make sure that one of the options that we give them is, of course, no extra cost to them. So listen, I look back at your training and you're attending 2 classes a week rather than 3, which is what you're paying for. So let's see how we can get that 3rd session into your timetable. But like you said, Mike, we then coach them and we say, you can carry on doing your 3 classes a week and you will get better. But if you're saying that you want to do your doubles within a month, then you will need to do something extra to accelerate that process. If you're saying you're happy to wait for 6 months to get your doubles, then 3 classes a week will probably be just fine. So it's really important that you use the client check-ins to educate your members, not just on what other services you offer, but also in terms of timeframes, and you're coaching them on their goals. It's rare. In fact, we actively discourage our coaches selling in those kind of environments. Sometimes people just go away, and the fact that you've actually put in the best column PT, you've just put it in the forefront of their mind that is a potential offering. And it might be that by the time they come back 90 days later, if they haven't hit their goals again, they might be more receptive to going down that route if they've still got that same goal. So, as opposed to the kind of the front end where we have new leads coming in and it's very much focused on sales, with our members, it's much more nurture and coaching. And the nice sort of byproduct of that is, because they trust you, when you suggest things like PT as an option, they're more likely to adopt it either then or certainly for the next goal review.
The concept that Lisa has just outlined, if you don't know it, it is called Help First. Chris Cooper wrote a book about it. He is often told that it is his best of all of his books, which is a huge number at this point. Help First, the quick summary is that selling is not selling if you are helping someone accomplish their goals. If someone says, I want to lose 10 pounds, it's very important to me, I must have this, and you sell, if you offer them a plan to do that and they buy it, that is not selling, that is helping. Right. And again, it is selling, but you get the concept. If this doesn't make sense to you, or if you want to learn how to change your mindset about this, Help First. We will put that link in the show notes. It is Chris Cooper's book, and you should read it. It will change your entire approach to the fitness industry. Second thing that's really important, Lisa, that you brought up is that people who are in your business and know, like, and trust you and are engaging with you on a daily basis are more likely to make purchases than cold leads, outside people. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't market and you shouldn't build your audience and you shouldn't talk to people out there in the, in the internet sphere. But the people that are in your gym are more likely to buy your stuff. They're also more likely to refer friends who will buy your stuff. That process cannot be ignored. If you want to build ARM, you must put in a prescriptive process to talk to your current clients, alert them to stuff that's out there, and ask them who else in their life you can help. And again, help, right? Not selling, helping. They will almost invariably give you someone to speak to. That is going to be a hot lead that will almost certainly sign up. You back that up with advertising and marketing and all the other stuff that touches people outside so that eventually they come and see you. But you cannot go wrong by talking to your current clients. Lisa, I need to ask you this. You talked about the shop mentality, I think you said, or what was the shop vibe that you had? Correct me if I'm wrong on how you said that, but tell me what that is and describe how it goes over there.
Well, we're lucky because we've got a really well-rounded team. So we've got a team of 12 of us. We've got coaches who have more of a passion for mobility, nutrition, sports massage therapy, and what we were able to do is draw on all those different areas of expertise and then make a service out of it. Now, we haven't just done it for the sake of it. That service would have been developed on the back of one of these athlete check-ins, where more and more clients, and we sort of almost develop themes that if 2 or 3 clients are saying the same thing, then there may be a need within our gym that we need to develop something.
I'm going to interrupt before you finish that off. This is a key concept Chris has written about. It is creating products for your clients, not the other way, not finding clients for your products, right? You are listening to what they want and need and then giving them a solution that is so different than saying, I am offering Olympic weightlifting program, come to me. That's not the same thing. Sorry to interrupt, key concept, continue with the shop feel.
Yeah. And that goes back to why these client check-ins are so important, because it allows you the opportunity to really get to know your membership base and what they need and what they want. And that changes. So, 7 years ago when we opened the current site, our membership needs were very different to what they are now. So by constantly checking with our membership base in the diary every 3 months, we really understand whether our members are getting what they need from us, and more importantly, are they getting what they came in for in the first place? Has that changed at all? And I can't put a figure on how valuable those check-ins are in terms of getting to know our membership base. And it's only been from those check-ins and the regular check-ins that we have mapped out exactly this virtual shop. More people were saying, on the back of lockdown where people suddenly went on holiday loads, but they still had a little bit of weight to shift, and they'd been a member for 3 months with us. And then they decided they want to go on a month's holiday, and they were almost gutted to be going on holiday. So we had to quickly think of something that we could offer them that was still going to keep them on track and keep them accountable in their training. So we then developed things like online programming and virtual accountability checkups. And we had loads of people on holiday shift onto those kind of programs, and then they came back into the gym again. So all of these services that we have on offer are all on the back of what members have been telling us. Another example is, we had a member about 1.5 years ago who said, listen, I'm going to have to cancel my membership. I love it here, but I just can't do it anymore because of my shoulder. So what we did was we just transferred her class membership onto regular sports massage therapy for a couple of months. So no extra cost to her in theory, same sort of, outgoings, but we worked out how many sports massage treatments she could have every month. And then after the 2 months, then she'd come back onto classes again. And the great thing about having our head coach as a sports massage therapist is, as he's doing his treatment, he can be talking to her about recovery, good nutrition for tissue healing, good hydration levels, what we can expect when she goes back into the gym. Do we need to support her on a graded program back in again? So it's a bit like an orchestra. We kind of have lots of different things kind of playing at the same time, trying to achieve the same thing. And it's only because we have all these different offerings that we're able to do that and give our clients the best service, in our opinion.
Let's not kid ourselves either. We're talking about ARM today, but everything that you just described is part of a retention strategy. If you did not have those things, and I'll use the example of the person with the shoulder, that person would have just left the gym and said, it hurts, I'm not coming back. You would have lost the revenue. That person would not have improved health and fitness, probably would have quit. That's a loss for the client. It's a loss for the coach. It's a loss for the business. It's bad for everyone. Because you spotted it and have a service in place, that person now works with another one of your coaches. There is a salary for the coach, stays in your business. That's revenue for you, improves health and fitness to the point where that person can keep working out. Okay. So all that is solving problems, huge retention, right? Like that is a key.
Absolutely. And this wasn't the intention of the sports massage, but on the back of that member then upgraded to a PT package because she acknowledged that maybe classes weren't the best thing for her shoulder and she wanted a little bit more one-to-one attention. So you're absolutely right. Yes, it's for retention, but out of genuinely caring for your clients and giving them some solutions, because you've built up that level of trust, they upgrade their services or they add-ons. We kind of call it add-ons, a bit like the hybrid concept, and we do offer hybrids, but it is like a shop. It's like, I've got this base product of my classes, say, and what can I add on top of that? I'm going to add on some PT. I'm going to add on a speciality course this weekend. And I'm going to add on, some nutrition as well. And it's a really nice way because they know we offer these services. They can do these add-ons. And that, I would say, with the transformation packages has been the biggest source of our arm. And, I think I was asked by someone else in Two Brain whether we could foresee that happening and carrying on. And yeah, absolutely. The more we offer, and the more satisfied our clients are, and the more they add on, of course, the arm is going to maintain in the same sort of range.
Think about it in the car sales world. So when this was 2008, I was looking for my first vehicle and I decided I was going to get a Honda Civic. I didn't have a lot of money, so I was going to buy the cheapest version available. I looked on the website. It was this base model, no air conditioning, no features, nothing. Called the dealership. I said, I want this. They said, it doesn't exist. No one gets that car. That is just there for the base model. We're going to build, and you have to get air conditioning and all these other things. The base model is almost not in existence. Okay. Because every car is customized with like seat warmers and leather, or this trim or that trim, or this button or this feature. Gyms never took that approach. I essentially at my gym sold that base model Honda Civic and said, the only thing we have is group classes. And if you want anything else, that's too bad. And my revenue, my ARM reflected that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But when you go to a car dealer, they're going to give you all these different options so that you can buy the exact thing that you want, that does the thing that you want it to do and solves your problems. And that can be anything from like large upgrades, like the things that cost $2,000 or $3,000, $4,000 extra $1,000, or it can be simple stuff like, do you want some extra floor mats on the way out? And every extra dollar added to that transaction is a benefit for the dealer and for the client who wants the stuff. So if you're thinking about this and you just offer group classes, I'm telling you, you can make your ARM number higher simply by finding out what your clients want and offering it. It's not a hard concept. It just gets lost because you're stuck in the day-to-day of your business. So Lisa, I'm going to ask you this. As we get towards the end of this, I want to know if there's a gym owner out there and you're on our mentorship team now. So you got a gym owner out there who's like only offering group classes. Their ARM, let's say, is in the like $80 range, something like that, which obviously their pricing is too low, but we will skip over that for now. What are like 3 simple steps you would give this person to take to start getting that ARM off of $80 and moving north of 100?
3 simple steps. So athlete check-ins. So absolutely sit down regularly with your members to discuss how they're getting on and whether they need anything more from you as a gym. 2, transformation packages. If it's not in there, then they don't know you offer it. So
something high ticket.
Something high ticket. Okay. And then the third thing is choice. So even when we talk about our on-ramps, so a lot of CrossFit gyms, they do kind of fundamentals, but they only offer one package. And actually, sometimes people need a little bit more attention. So for example, with our sort of fundamental, we call it a starter package. We have 3 different choices. So they can either start with 12 PT sessions, 8 PT sessions, or 6 PT sessions. Now, if you're, a real kind of gym bunny and you're really fit and healthy, you probably actually only need 6 sessions to start with, just to kind of get you familiar with kind of our style of training and to make sure you're safe and with the bar, etc. But if you're someone who hasn't exercised in 20 years, and you're kind of holding a bit of an injury somewhere and you just need a little bit more tuition, then they will go for the 12 sessions. But if you don't offer those 3 different arms, I wouldn't probably go more than 3 in my personal opinion, because then it gets really confusing. But if you don't offer those 3 different arms, then you're never going to know whether people will go for that higher offering or not. And that's exactly what they need in order to start their fitness journey with you. You are, once again, going back to a disservice, you're doing that person a disservice if you're expecting them to be engaged and fully embraced within the class environment after only 6 sessions of PT, because they will feel overwhelmed. And we've all probably seen it before. They get re-injured quite quickly. And then guess what? It's on you as a brand. It's on you as a company as to whether, it was anything which you guys could have, obviously helped them better with. So I say offer choice within your front end processes. High ticket offering and athlete check-ins have been incredibly useful for us.
You have 3 action steps right there that are guaranteed to increase your ARM. I would encourage you to take them, but I know many of you aren't going to do it, and it's going to be difficult for you to do that. It's one of those things where you get overwhelmed, and I'm sure the phone's going to ring and you're like, forget about it. If you need some help, you can work with someone just like Lisa. All you have to do is go to twobrainbusiness.com and book a free call. If you do that, you will talk to one of our people who will give you an exact prescription to make your gym better. And it's exactly what we're talking about here, prescriptive model. You will learn how to improve your gym super fast. And you will work with a mentor to do that. And that mentor will provide everything a fitness coach would provide to a client to get the results that they want. So I would encourage you to go over there and book that. You would be able to work with potentially you, Lisa.
Yes, please. Yeah, I'm here to help.
That would be awesome. So Lisa's in the UK. She'll work with people anywhere. But if you are in the UK and you want someone on home turf, you could absolutely talk to a person who would put you in touch with Lisa. Our goal is to help you guys improve stuff. One final question, Lisa, do you tack on things like, the floor mats and cup holders in terms of supplements and things like that? T-shirts, do you do retail in this package as well?
We do, yeah.
We
don't do packages, but we do have retail, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, every dollar counts, right? And it's, again, solving client problems.
We even do our own coffee, and it's really good. So if you're ever in the Slough area, make sure you get yourself down and buy a bag of beans.
I will 100% do that. I'm a coffee fanatic, so I will be by your gym if I'm ever so lucky as to be in the UK. That was Lisa Palmer on Two Brain Radio. She is an ARM leader, average revenue per member per month for May, and she just opened her book and shared her secrets. Take action. But if you need more help, go to twobrainbusiness.com and book a free call. Thank you so much for listening to Two Brain Radio. Please hit subscribe on the way out wherever you're watching or listening.